Let me guess. You've been trying to lock in for months, but there's always been something in your way, whether it was your friends or your family or most importantly, school. You've always been distracted and you've never been able to lock in. And winter break is actually just in a couple of days, and it's finally your opportunity to lock in and make the progress you want. So, this is how you can make as much progress as possible using the dopamine detox. But before I get into that, let me introduce myself. My name is Jillian, and just around 3 years ago, I was a bullied skinny kid that had nothing going for himself in life. I was basically the definition of a degenerate, and that's when I found out what self-improvement was, and I decided to change my life around to who I am today. And that's why I created this channel, so I can help teens in the same situation as I was get on self-improvement and become the best versions of themselves. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, feel free to subscribe and join us. So what even is a dopamine detox? What is its purpose? Well, the fact is that your brain is cluttered. Every single minute of the day, you're probably thinking about the future, the past, or you're worrying. Well, that's exactly what the dopamine detox fixes. It resets your brain and brings you back to your base form so you can build up off of that. And the way it does that is by limiting the amount of gratification you get. The entire point of detoxing, the amount of dopamine you get. Now, before I get into how you can do that and the steps to follow, I'm going to actually tell you about my first dopamine detox, or what I considered it at the time as my first monk mode. I was already late into my self-improvement journey when I figured out what a dopamine detox is, and at the time, I actually thought it was called the monk mode, and that's actually what the first video on my channel is. It's discussing how to start a monk mode and why I'm doing one. And what I learned through that monk mode is it is extremely helpful to make good progress. I grew so much on that monk mode, and it's what got me to lock in and make the progress I wanted, and actually probably is the entire reason of who I am today. It is very difficult, and it is also very long depending how long you decide to do it, and it is very important that you resist the urges. The entire point of a dopamine detox is that you resist the urges. You get rid of all of the nonsense. So if you even go back once, you are over. You're done. And especially with this winter break, you do not get a second chance. You only have one shot at this, so do not mess it up. When you start, you have to make sure you follow the principles every day. You cannot have one bad day until you come back as the unrecognizable leader that you want to become. I've told you everything you need to know about the consequences of failing a dopamine detox. But now, it's finally time. This is how you can start one for yourself. What you have to do is realize what are your limits. What is causing the most dopamine in your life? Only you will know this. Is it scrolling? Is it video games? Is it food? What is bringing you the most bad pleasure, the instant gratification? If you don't know what instant gratification is, there are two forms of gratification: delayed gratification and instant gratification. Instant gratification is you get an urge to do something and you're able to do it instantly. Like you see an ice cream stand and you decide you're going to get an ice cream cone then. While delayed gratification is you see an ice cream stand and you decide you're going to do 20 push-ups and then you're going to go to it. And what delayed gratification does, which is better than instant gratification, is not only does it build your discipline, but once you finally get that reward, it is 10 times better. If you just want ice cream, it is probably just going to taste like a normal ice cream. But if you accomplish something to get it, then it is going to taste like heaven. It is going to taste amazing. So that is the entire point. Getting everything you're doing, the instant gratification, and turning it into delayed gratification. Firstly, what I want you to do is, if you really want to take it to the extreme, take your phone right now, and the second winter break starts, put it in a lockbox and don't open it until school starts again. That is the extreme. But if you get productive stuff done on your phone, or you just want to turn your phone into a tool, I want you to delete all social media and all your video games apps which are distracting you. Once you've done that, your phone has become a tool. It is no longer distracting you, but actually helping you. The next thing I want you to do, go into your display and add the color filter of grayscale. And all that's gonna do is take away all the satisfaction you get from using your phone, which is exactly what you're trying to get rid of. So once you've done that, you're ready for the next step. Remove all notifications, whether it's on your computer, your iPad, your phone, it doesn't matter. Get rid of all notifications. Use the devices when you want to use them, not when your apps tell you to use them. Finally, now that you've gotten rid of your phone and all that, this is what you have to do as a dopamine detox. All the self improvement habits that everyone knows about, journaling, meditating, reading, all of that, I want you to try to do all of them outside. Spend as much time as possible and appreciate nature more. Because what that's gonna do is it's gonna help you realize how beautiful the current world is, and it's gonna stop you from focusing on the past or the future. This is gonna allow you to take a break from all of the dopamine and instant gratification we currently have, and not only that, but you're just gonna feel a lot happier. Spending time in nature is probably a cheat code to happiness because it is how we're wired. We feel happy when we're in nature, so take advantage of that. The next thing I want to talk about is diet. You have to get rid of all your cheat meals, all your snacks, even if they're somewhat healthy. Your protein bars, all that, they're not good for you. What I want you to do is the second winter break starts, the second you decide to lock in, go on a diet where you only eat unprocessed food. When I did this, I appreciated the food so much better and I had so much energy. If you're only eating meat, fruit, and vegetables, that's it. And you could also add some dairy in there, some, cheese. I wouldn't really recommend milk because of the increase in estrogen, but if you want almond milk or something like that, that's sure fine. But try to stick to only those. And if you really want bread or something to eat that with, spend time with your mom and make it homemade. I remember when I started my monk mode, I really wanted bread. And except of buying processed bread, since I was kind of going on an unprocessed diet, I spent 30 minutes making a whole grain bread with my mom, and it was one of the best times that I've ever had with her. So try to stick to only those things and avoid all processed food. If it's in a package, you cannot have it throughout your dopamine detox. All of this might seem extreme to you. No cheat meals, none of that, but this is a dopamine detox. This is how to excel as fast as possible and as much as possible. So if you want to do that, you have to follow every single one of these steps. You can't pick and choose. If you don't do one of these steps, then all of the rest become less significant and will get you less progress. You have to follow everything. So now you know all the info you're going to need on how to make as much progress throughout this winter break. And I want you to know I believe in you. You can do this. All you have to do is make sure that you stick to everything. If you miss one thing, it's over. You have to give it your all. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great day.